Ronald is an ordinary teenager who lives in the suburbs and suffers from the fact that he is not noticed by the popular kids from his school. Despite this, he does not give up hope of becoming part of their circle. He is clever in science, but dreams of changing his status at school. Every day he watches Cindy, the most popular girl in the school, whose beauty and confidence attract everyone to her, including Ronald himself. Cindy belongs in the leadership group, she is adored by everyone, and she is dating one of the guys Ronald considers unattainable. But what is important is that she is not just beautiful and popular, she has her own vulnerability, which is still hidden from the eyes of others. The plot of the movie unfolds at the beginning of the new school year, when Ronald decides that it's time to change something in his life. He planned to buy a telescope with the money he earned during the summer to continue his scientific hobbies. But an accident changes his plans. One day, Cindy finds herself in a difficult situation. She accidentally ruins her mother's expensive designer clothes and needs $1,000 to buy new ones and escape punishment. Ronald witnesses the incident and realizes he has a chance. Instead of buying a telescope, he offers Cindy a deal. He will give her the money if she agrees to pretend to be his girlfriend for a month. Cindy, though not thrilled with the offer, agrees, because it's the only way to avoid serious problems with her mother. From that moment on, their relationship goes to the next level. Cindy and Ronald begin to spend time together, and this causes a shock to their classmates. Everyone starts to think that Ronald is really dating Cindy. At first, their relationship seems to be purely business. Cindy introduces him to the world of popularity, teaches him how to dress, how to behave properly in the company of popular guys. She starts by spending time with him at parties and getting him to act as if he were her boyfriend. Ronald, despite his initial insecurities, begins to enjoy his new role. Soon he becomes popular with the other students, and those who had previously overlooked him now begin to treat him with respect. Gradually, Ronald begins to change. He moves away from his old friends that he used to spend time with, including his best friend Kenny, who always supported him in times of need. Kenny doesn't understand why Ronald is so eager to be part of a group of popular kids and gives up his old hobbies and friends. However, Ronald is so passionate about his new life that he doesn't pay attention to such changes. He changes his style of dress, behavior, begins to follow fashion trends, tries to fit into a new circle of communication. He becomes more self-confident and even a little smug. Soon he begins to believe that he really belongs to the circle of the elite. Cindy, watching this metamorphosis of Ronald, also begins to see something more in him. She sees how the guy who seemed strange and backward to her turns into someone who was sympathized with by everyone around him. And even though she has to play the role of his girlfriend, genuine feelings begin to develop between them. They spend more time together, talking not only about school, but also about life. Cindy begins to share her thoughts and experiences. She tells Ronald that, despite her popularity, she feels lonely and often feels pressured by others to behave perfectly. However, the more Ronald immerses himself in his new life, the more he loses contact with reality. Not only does he become popular, but he begins to act as if this popularity is his real self. He forgets his arrangement with Cindy and that their relationship is only a performance. He starts hanging out with the cheerleaders, flirting with them, acting like he's actually cool and in demand. At one point, he even decides to participate in a school party where his actions go beyond what is acceptable. He humiliates his ex-girlfriend in front of everyone, thinking that this will make him even more popular. Gradually, the mask he has put on begins to crumble. Cindy sees Ronald losing his personality and it upsets her. At one point, at one of the parties, she publicly exposes him to everyone. She reveals that their entire relationship was fake, that they made a deal, and that Ronald used it to become popular. This comes as a blow to Ronald. He loses his popularity as quickly as he gained it. His classmates turn their backs on him, realizing that he was only a fake. Ronald returns to his old self, and it's hard on him. He realizes that through his actions he destroyed relationships with friends he really valued, and that his popularity was nothing. He has to rethink his life and his priorities. In the end, he finds the strength to apologize to his old friends, admitting his mistakes. He also realizes that Cindy was actually important to him, not because of her popularity, but because of the real connection that developed between them. In the final scene of the movie, Ronald decides that he owes Cindy an apology for everything that has happened. He finds her in the school parking lot and tries to talk to her, but she won't listen to him. Ronald, however, insists. He recalls the moment when they first started their pact and admits that he is sorry for the way things turned out. Cindy doesn't believe his words at first, but sees the sincerity in his eyes. He admits that his behavior has been selfish and that he has lost not only friends, but also respect for himself. Cindy, sensing his sincerity, finally softens. She realizes that Ronald is not just a boy who wanted to be popular. He was wrong, but he has changed, realizing his mistakes. They drive away together in her car, which symbolizes their reconciliation and perhaps the beginning of something real between them. The final scene shows that Ronald and Cindy, despite all the trials they went through, were able to find common ground and realize that true feelings are not dependent on status or popularity. The film ends on an optimistic note, emphasizing the importance of sincerity and the fact that love and friendship cannot be bought with money.